All clear. Sorry. Out patrolling for Turks, but we didn't find any. Which is probably good. They'd have answered. Hey, howdy y'all. Welcome to the Fowler Show. How'd y'all like my skit? And a new look. I'll put too much light on it. You can't see one side of it. Oh, you know, we always film for adjustments. Anyway, before we get started, I'd like to do my traditional howdy to my father and mother-in-law, the world's greatest, the universe's greatest in-laws ever, Jeff and Marianne Smith. And then to that beautiful, special little girl. Oh, the night she walked in and I met her, my world changed forever. And yes, everybody, I am talking about my beautiful wife, Miss Jules Bucky Fowler. So, and today I have a co-host. Now, the horse's name is Anzac. And this man would be Clancy. I got the horse recently. But I dug the action figure out of stuff from when I was little. And I knew he had to be on this video. Because he's an Anzac. He's with the Light Horse Brigade. Anyways, I promised you a very big day. Well, it ain't gonna happen. I've shot the poo with it all and run the numbers, and we're gonna do one little bitty song and try to break it up in 4 small videos. Oh, don't worry. The man who actually came up with that idea is our lovely second producer. And, yeah, there's a first and second. We hate both of them equally. That way we can't get sued for, not doing equilibrium things. I don't know. Just shouting out big words. Anyways, today, we're not doing their Durham idea. I promised you 4 videos, and I'm going to try to do my best to get them all. Anyways, and there will be some things played off my phone because I could not find lyrics and I wasn't quite smart enough to learn how to play them. There will be some other songs that I might use my phone to look at. I do have some lyrics because some of these songs are kind of hard. And you will hear a touch of, not Time Lord Pony and 3 Parts Thoroughbred at least. But you will find a touch of, not that kind of touch either. You will find a touch of a mixture of Okie and Aussie today. Because, as you know, today is a great holiday. My grandfather-in-law was a digger, and I'm proud. That makes me even prouder to knowing that. I can't wait to see some pictures. I can't wait to go visit. Anyways, today, it is, the keys are out there. Right now, it is morning time for my wife and my in-laws, and it's Anzac Day there. And so, it's actually 10 till 5 Saturday evening for me. But, anyways, so I'm going to start out with some songs. The first several will be about the Anzacs and the different military groups. Some you might have heard me sing before. Others you probably haven't. There's going to be a couple that I haven't sang before. That's why I'm going to look the lyrics up on my phone. And then, at the very end of the video, something amazing is going to happen, but it's going to be the surprise. So, hopefully we can make this last into 4 videos. I don't know. We're going to try. Let's just have a lovely, smiling moment of glory for the word try. Points. Anyways, sadly I'm not the Springbok captain. Anyways, today is Anzac Day, so we're going to try to stay focused. Which never happens. Sad to say, it just never happens. And yes, to my mother-in-law, I know it's not completely gone, but it's a different look. I think it looks better, but, you know, I still miss my beard. Anyways, let's get started. This one... No, I don't want my glasses. Producers. I hate producers. If you ever get a chance to have producers, don't say no. Run away. Run far away. That or tell them, I'll do it only on one condition. If you see that cliff way over yonder, if you'll run and go jump off that, I'll do your movies and stuff. Anyways, this one that just got handed to me is one from Slim Dusty. It's called the Kokoda track. So I'm going to try my best in it. Other songs will be also just regular Australian songs. So bear with us. Sometimes this might go away on some of the harder things. But anyways, let's get started. The Kokoda track. With no shoulder arms or bayonets fixed, they march on Anzac Day. Measured tramp, still short hills, a memory away. Veterans of a jungle war who went to hell and back. Those ragged bloody heroes of that grim Kokoda track. So dig your reversed rifles in the mire and memory. The swirling mist of time has healed the scars. You climb that golden stairway to keep our country free, where the jungle hid your nightmares from the stars. When sullen days brought no relief of blood and muck and mar, and death was ever striding at your back, you trod that hallowed path to be baptized in hellfire. The ragged bloody heroes of that grim Kokoda track. Oh, the devil took the hindmost, and the snipers took the fore, with no quarter asked or given in that muddy, bloody war. With black angels there to guide them, salvos by their side, those ragged, bloody heroes simply marched and fought and died. Astride a broken mountain top you stood defiantly, as the devil took your comrades one by one. He taunted you and beckoned you to face eternity. You saluted with a burning Thompson gun. His hand was on your shoulder like a burning grip of steel, but you turned him and you fought off his attack. You broke the devil's squadrons, you brought him to your heel. The ragged and bloody heroes of that grim Dakota track. Oh, the devil took the hindmost and the snipers took the fore, with no quarter asked still given in that muddy, bloody war. While politicians pondered and great generals swelled with pride, those ragged, bloody heroes simply marched and fought and died. With no shouldered arms or bayonets fixed, they march on Anzac Day. With a memory of white crosses, mounds of fresh turned clay, of green fields and a bugle call and a solid requiem. And at the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. Those ragged, bloody heroes of that grim Dakota track. Hey, we got through the first one. That one was actually one of the ones I worried about. And I can't remember the singer, Adam Band something, who did this one. But it's a very beautiful piece. It is it's called The Anzac. When in 1914 began, he was working on the land with his mom and dad. He left behind a girl, joined up to see the world, make his mother sad. He made it through the war and came back to town to help his father work the fields and rebuild his life somehow. And everybody called him the Anzac, that's still what they call him now. He set his mind to stay when his father passed away and the rivers ran dry. He said, I'll take care of you, Mom. I fought before and won, and we can win this fight. And all alone he worked all day until he drove, until the place got back to the best. He didn't stop. And there were times he thought he'd been forgotten, but every night at 6 o'clock, there he'd stand for that man they called the Anzac, and those who gave their lives for us. They'd stand for that man they call the Anzac, for fighting for the land he loved. And at the same time every year we all remember him. At the crack of dawn we stand as one for all our fallen friends. So drink to that man they call the Anzac, we will remember him. So stand for that man they call the Anzac, those who give their lives for us. Let's stand for the man they call the Anzac, fighting for land he loved. So stand for the man they call the Anzac, fighting for the land we love. We will remember them. Yay! Second one down. This one is one of the few Lee Kernigans I've got, and it's talking about when the first bomb fell. 19th of February 1942. Bathurst Island sent a message through. There's a big formation and they're bearing down from the northwest, headed straight for Darwin town. Oh, 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 oh. They hit the first bomb exploded down beside the wharf, neath the USS Peary and the oil store. The Neptune went up in a ball of flame. The black smoke rolled when the Zeros came. We got smoking bells on the LMGs. Man, the Vickers grabbed his 303s. We're on the ropes, but we'll give 'em hell. Darwin rumbled when the first bombs fell. 1,000-pounders blew the town apart. They hit the post office on the Esplanade. The family died in the surprise attack, but the AA batteries are fighting back. The second wave unloaded on the aerodrome. Machine guns rattle and bombs explode. Hangars blazing and shrapnel flies. Armed invaders in Australian skies. We got smoking bells on the LMG. Men, the Vickers grab your 303s. We're on the ropes, but we'll give 'em hell. Darwin rumbled when the first bomb fell. We got smoking bells on the LMGs. Men, the Vickers grab your 303s. We're on the ropes, but we'll give 'em all hell. Darwin rumbled when the first bomb fell. Yeah, Darwin rumbled when the first bomb fell. Hang on a second, I'll be right back. Oh, sorry, we're back. We thought we saw a Turk running around, but it wasn't. It was one of our unpaid interns. He'll be out of the hospital in 6 weeks. This one is also by Lee Kanigan. It's one of them off my phone. It's Teddy Sheen, Forever 18. And I've never sang this one before without music. Boat cut the swell on the course, set for timer on the Armadale plough. Through the waves the enemy found us, some bombs and torpedoes and no gun down. Abandon the ship came the call. Through the chaos jump for your lives, the ship's going down. I saw Teddy Sheen, he was wounded and bleeding, strapped to his Hurricane gun. He kept firing as he was dragged under, noble for someone so young, forever 18. We'll always remember Teddy Sheen, the blood and the oil coated men in the water, the stern rose and this. We clung to the wreckage and still they came at us, till the silence of evening drew near. We floated to whalers and a raft from the flock sun. We hung and waited for help to arrive. I saw Teddy Sheen, he was wounded and bleeding, strapped to his Hurricane gun. He kept firing as he was dragged under, noble for someone so young, forever 18. We'll always remember Teddy Sheen. The men who survived owe their lives to the line of boy who stood strong and held on and fought on till the end. I saw Teddy Sheen, he was wounded and bleeding, strapped to his Hurricane gun. He kept firing as he was dragged under, noble for someone so young, forever 18. We'll never forget Teddy Sheen. Alright. So I have another one here. But first, I hate to say this. Oh well, I mean, this was mostly memorized. But I only have two that are fully memorized. And one of them is this one. And I hope I do a whole lot better job than the first time I ever did this, because I was having to fight lyrics and didn't know it. But now I have it memorized. And I forget the main guy who wrote it, but John McDermott did it, and it was a great version. And I'd like to dedicate this to the universe's greatest and my favorite father-in-law of all time. Here it is. Jeff, this is our song, and the band played Waltzing Matilda. Well, in 1914, lived the free life of a rover, from the Mary's green basin to the dusty outback. I waltzed my Matilda all over. When in 1915 my country said, son, it's time to stop rambling, there's work to be done. They gave me a tin hat and they gave me a gun, and they sent me away to the war. And the band played Waltzing Matilda, and our ship pulled away from the quay. And amidst all the cheers, flag waving and tears, we sailed off for Gallipoli. How I remember that terrible day when our blood stained the sand and the water, or how in the hell that they called Suvla Bay we were butchered like lambs at the slaughter. Johnny Turkey was ready, I primed himself well. He rained down with bullets, shot off with shell, and in 5 minutes flat, we were all blown to hell. Nearly blew us back home to Australia. Those who were living just tried to survive in this mad world of blood, death, and fire. 14 weary weeks I kept myself alive, while around me the corpses piled higher. When a big Turkish shell knocked me arse or head, and when I woke up in my hospital bed, I saw that I'd done, and I wished I were dead. Never knew there were worse things than dying. For I'll go no more waltzing Matilda all around the green bush far and free, for the hunting and pegs on my knees but legs. No more waltzing Matilda for me. They collected the wounded, the crippled, the maimed, and they shipped us back home to Australia. And for 10 The armless, the legless, the blindly insane, those proud heroes wounded at Suva, and as our ship pulled into Sagilaki, I looked at the place where my legs used to be. I thank Christ there was no one who was waiting for me to grieve, to mourn, or to pity. And the band played waltzing Matilda as it carried us down the gangway, but nobody cheered. They just stood there and stared. Then they all turned their faces away. So now every April I sit on my porch and I watch the parade pass before me. I see my comrades, how proudly they march, renewing dreams of past glory. I see the iron men are tired, stiff and sore, the weary heroes of a far-gone war, and the young people ask, what are they marching for? And I ask myself the same question. And the band played waltzing Matilda, and the old men still answer the call. But year after year, their number grows few. Someday no one will march there at all. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, who'll come a waltzing Matilda with me, and their ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong. Ooh, come a waltzing Matilda with me. Be right back. told you I'd be right back. Oh, I went that way. That's right. Hey! I think I just blew it. I don't know. Thumbs towards me. This is amazing. I've discovered a portal. What? Okay, we're back. Give a hand for the hands. Needed a commercial in there somewhere, so we had to come up with one. Too under budget to get one of our own. Oh, while I was out and creating that vortex kind of looking coolness, excuse me, Tom. Producers. Sorry, they never get you anything. I mean, I asked for a spit cut. I asked and... But Tom's over there. Must have a wormhole. Anyway, this, let's get back to it, shall we? We did do a little bit of talking, and we're at 39 minutes. So we compiled the 4 20-minute videos into, we're going to see if we can't run it an hour. Do an hour special. Yeah! You think that's long? Wait till Christmas. Anyways, focus. I'll show them. Now, when you see that lame brain Tom, will you tell him I hate him? Main producer. I was serious when the main producer said to go ahead and show you really quick to kind of give us a little more commercial feel. Well, coming soon. My wife will be home by the time this video is done. Not the Anzac Day video, but if you think we're going to go an hour on this, let me show you something cool. I have this wonderful book. It's full of Christmas songs and music. And there is, holy crap, there's extra. There's one. See how many there are. Woo! There's an entire page of nothing but them. There's 5 in this entire book of Christmas music and songs. Anything from Jingle Bells to Oh Holy Night. You see how thick it is? You see how wide it is and big? There are 5 or 6 songs and tune and music that I can't either play on harmonica, whistle, or sing because I don't know them. 5 or 6 out of this entire thing that I do not know, which is weird. Anyways, let's get back to it. Alright, we're going to transition from the early 1900s to about the time of the Vietnam War. Now, I've worked on this and worked on it, and I'm probably going to have to look down at it once, hopefully. But, I've been practicing this one. So, let's give it a shot. I don't remember the group that originally did it. The group I have on my playlist on YouTube is called the Lancer Band. And this is from the Vietnam era. Matter of fact, there's a movie on Amazon Prime called Danger Close. It's about the Australian military that went to Vietnam, and at the very end of the movie, you hear this song by the original group. But this is a well-known one, and it's called I Was Only 19. Now, to make it more interesting, there's the lyrics. You see how the lyrics are? They're going face down. You guys are actually sitting on and holding down my lyrics. If I lift it up like this, I can't see it. So, here it goes. I was only 19. Mom and Dad and Denny saw the passing at Bright Egg Puck upon Yole. It was a long march from cadets, and the 6th Battalion was the next to two. It was me who drew the card. We did conundrum, sure water before we left. And Townsville lined the footpaths as we marched down to the quay. This clipping from the paper shows us young, strong and free. And there's me in my slouch hat and my SLR and greens. God help me, I'm only 19. From Bungtao to Chinook, riding dust to Naidad, I've been in and out of choppers now for months. We made our tents at home, VP, and pin-ups on the locker, and a bloody Asian on sunset through the scrub. And can you tell me, doctor, why I still can't get to sleep? At night the jungle's dark and a barking M16. And what's this rush? It comes and goes. Can you tell me what it means? God help me, I was only 19. A 4-week operation where each step could be your last one on 2 legs. It was a war within yourself, but you wouldn't let your mates down till they had you dusted off. So you closed your eyes and thought of something else. Then someone yelled at contact, and the bloke behind me swore, "Were you hooked in there for hours?" Then a God Almighty roar, and Frankie kicked mine the day the mankind kicked the moon. God help me. He was going home in June. Well, I can still see Frankie drinking tinnies at the Grand Hotel on a 36-hour wreck leaving Longtown. And I can still hear Frankie lying screaming in the jungle till the morphine came and killed the bloody row. And the Anzac legend never mentioned mud, blood and tears, and the stories that my father told me never seemed quite real. I caught some pieces in my back that I didn't even feel. God help me, I was only 19. And can you tell me, doctor, why I still can't get to sleep? And why the Channel 7 chopper chills me to my feet? And what's this rush that comes and goes? Can you tell me what it means? God help me, I was only 19. God help me, I was only 19. What do you know? Look at there! I knew I could do it. Alright, did I need anything else from that one? That one's done. Yay! And the crowd goes wild. Alright, I had some more. Oh, hold on. Nope. Nope. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be right back. Here's Clancy and Anzac. Join us on the next Fowler Show. We'll be doing live interviews. That'll never work. I think it will. Shut up, Tom. Nobody likes you. Then we're back. Sorry. Took a little while. I had to beat up a couple of producers. They keep wanting to tell me, well, if you do this, then will you do... Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, we are. We're 5 minutes away from an hour, and it's going to go over. Yes. Now, before I play this next tune on YouTube, because I'm nowhere good enough to even attempt it on the harmonica, I wanted to read you this. And I've also found out that if any of you viewers would like to know more who don't know what it is, there's an AnzacDay.org, and there's an Anzac portal by the Australian government, and it tells you everything about them. It breaks it down into categories. It's a really cool website to play around with and learn. But this right here, this is something cool. This is called the Ode. They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn them. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them, lest we forget. Now, I don't know the singer that first used that, or I don't know, even better, this. Sorry. Producer's calling me. I hate producers. I don't know the soldier that does this, but he does it beautifully. And if I can find it here. This is where here in America we have taps. This is what they have in Australia and New Zealand. And I'm guessing a lot of different posts around the world in Europe. But this is called The Last Post. anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. We're not ending the video just yet. I can just tell you by memory. There was a famous poet who started out as a lawyer, had a whole slew of long different careers. And he sat down and he put together a poem. He started writing poetry and stuff, and he put together a poem. Well, he was staying at a friend of his, and the daughter had been to a horse race and show, and he said, well, she was humming a tune. He said, I think that would kind of fit my poem. And they said, well, are you sure? And he's like, well, yeah, let's give it a shot. And it actually became a really cool song, and it became basically one of the greatest songs that ever came from Australia, about Australia. And if I can pull up the lyrics, the man's name was Banjo Patterson, and his little poem that he put a tune to is now a song that goes, once a jolly swagman can't buy a billabong under the shade of a coolabah tree. He sang as he watched and he waited till his billy bawled, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. And he sang and he watched as he waited by the billy boy, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Down came a jumbuck to drink by the billabong. Up jumped the swagman, grabbed him with glee. He sang as he shoved that jumbuck in his tucker bag, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Up rode the squatter, mounted on his thoroughbred. Up came the troopers, 1, 2, 3. Who's that in jumbuck you got in your tucker bag? You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Up jumped the swagman and sprang into the billabong. You'll never catch me alive, said he, and his ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. And his ghost may be heard as you pass by a billabong. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. There is one other one I'd like to do before I go on to the next. Smartphone and smart producers, and neither one can figure it out. It's kind of a song from my childhood. Let's see. You see, really, let me set this next one up. Even though all of y'all know that I have a beautiful wife named Jules, she was not, however, the first Australian girl to steal my heart. The first one's name that I had was Matilda, and she loved to waltz a lot. But one day she grew tired of me. I asked her what was wrong, and I jumped out of the way. She threw a boomerang at me, and on its way back it managed to hit me. She caught it, called up a pet dingo, and off into the scrub she took a walkabout. Said something about having to go see her pet kookaburra in the old gum tree. And so I thought, well, that does it. And I was doomed to live a life of loneliness and never find anybody that made me happy. Then on the 7th of December 2019, I'm roadieing for a great band called Granny's Nightmare, and into the pub, or as we call it, bar, walked this beautiful woman. Beautiful, 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 beautiful woman. And when I saw her, I just knew that she was beautiful, gorgeous. Might be a little risque, but dare I say sexy. Because she was. And truth be told, I kept looking at her throughout the night, and she kept looking at me, and I'd like to tell you we sat down, we had wonderful long conversations, and all told I think we spoke maybe 3 minutes altogether. I went home that night, and in my dream I was walking down the aisle, and when I lifted the veil, it was her face. And ever since I've been so happy. And then the day that she actually said yes, I was going, oh! That's a small, slight version of what I really did. I almost went through the roof. I couldn't wait. I was running. I was gunning. I was happy. Anyways, before I go any further and get in trouble or anything like that, don't look at me that way. One day, producer, you will find love. Not from me, but you will find love. Oh, I know it hurts. It's been it's been a year. Oh. A year since you said hi to a woman? Oh. No wonder you're a producer. Nobody loves you. Your mom dropped everything and left you because you were going to be a producer? Ah, that explains it. Great job, buddy. Great job. Big hand for the producer. Not really. I can't pull up the lyrics, so let's try this site. The other producer's gone about setting up for a final skit. Anyway, this is a song that we used to sing in little camps and stuff as a kid. Used to sing a lot at church camp. It goes, Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree, Mary, Mary, king of the bushes he. Life, Kookaburra, Kookaburra, gay your life must be. Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree, eating all the gum rocks he can see. Stop, Kookaburra, stop, Kookaburra, leave some for me. Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree, counting all the monkeys he can see. Stop, Kookaburra, stop, that's not a monkey, that's just me. Kookaburra sits on a rusty nail, gets a boo-boo into his tail. Cry, Kookaburra, cry, oh how life can be. Alright, enough. Now, I told you about A.B. or Banjo Patterson, how he was a lawyer and he became a poet, and he did a couple of poems, and they were later turned into songs again by someone else. If you've ever seen the movie Australia, it means more to me now, with Hugh Jackman in it. I was watching that here a while back with my grandparents, and the old fat guy that plays the drunk that's teaching the little boy the harmonica. Well, I can't remember what his name in the movie is, but I heard his voice and I went, "Oh my gosh!" And I paused it just to tell him something cool. His name is Jack Thomas, one of those two. I can't remember I never can remember the last name. But he's been in a whole slew of things. But the thing I remember him from is playing Clancy of the Overflow on Man from Snowy River, the Disney movie. And, but, now the story goes that, Patterson, his first two on there's another website, it's called Australian Poetry Library, .com or .org. You can get on there, you can type up any poet's name or poem and read it. Banjo Patterson's got like 100 something, and they're all great. Well, at least the ones I've read are, and I've read about probably half of the first section. The story goes, though, that while he was a lawyer, he had an interesting encounter with a fellow, and years later he decided that he would rename this man and pretty much came up with a good poem. Well, then Slim Dusty picked up this poem and went, "I hear a country song." And yes, I've realized this. And I've got to say sorry. I know that my Australian accent can sound a whole lot darker than pure Australian. I get that. I've actually been picking that up throughout the video. We're at an hour and 13 minutes. Aka is very country sound. Just look up Slim Dusty, and listen to a song of his. That'll cover Aka, that sound that he's got. It's kind of like in bluegrass when they tell you, "Don't sing till you know it's gonna sound like this." Well, Aka people, kind of sound like this. But anyway, he wrote this poem, and Slim Dusty picked it up, like I already said, and he called it Clancy of the Overflow. I had written him a letter, which I have for want of better knowledge sent to where I met him down the Lachlan years ago. He was shearing when I knew him, so I sent the letter to him, just on spec addressed as follows, Clancy of the Overflow. And an answer came directed in a writing unsuspected, and I think the thing was written with a thumbnail dipped in tar. 'Twas his shearing mate who wrote it, and verbatim I will quote it. Clancy's gone to Queensland droving, and we don't know where he are. In my wild erratic fancy, visions come to me of Clancy, gone a droving down the Cooper, where the western drovers go. As the stock are slowly stringing, Clancy rides behind him singing, for the drover's life has pleasures that the townsfolk never know. And the bush has friends to meet him, and their kindly voices greet him, in the murmur of the breezes and the rivers on its bars. And he sees a vision splendid of the sunlit plains extended, and at night the wondrous glory of the everlasting stars. I am sitting in a little dingy office where stingy ray of sunlight struggles feebly down between houses and tall, and the floated air and gritty of the dusty, dirty city through the open window floating spreads its foulness over all. And in place of lowing cattle I can hear the fiendish rattle of the tramways and the buses making heavy down the street, and the language uninviting of the gutter children fighting comes fitfully and faintly through the ceaseless tramp of feet. And the hairy people daunt me, and their pallid faces haunt me as they shoulder one another in their rushing nervous haste, with eager eyes and greedy, and their stunted forms and weedy. For the townsfolk have no time to grow, they have no time to waste. And I somehow rather fancy that I'd like to change with Clancy, like a take turn at droving where the seasons come and go, while he faced around eternal of the cash book and the journal. But I doubt he'd suit the office, Clancy of the overflow. In my wild erratic fancy, visions come to me at Clancy, gonna droving down the Cooper where the western drovers go. And the stock is slowly stringing, Clancy rides behind him singing, for the drover's life has pleasures that the town folk never know. Oh. Now, an hour and 17 minutes. About to be 18. Now, I need to get my air back in me. Woke up with a sore throat, so. But yes, I still came and did the video. Got a time sensitive skit, so. Alright. Banjo Patterson also wrote another poem, and he brought Clancy the Overflow to help it. Well, he wrote the poem, then Slim Dusty made a song of it. Then in the 80s, if I remember right, 82 I think, Disney came along and went, I think that would make a great movie idea. They made a movie of it. Later on in the 80s, they made a second movie of it. There's been shows and other movies, all with the same title, kind of based on the same idea. But here it is. Here's the one that started this for Disney. It was not just a idea of, hey, why don't we make a kind of a Western. It was, they were over there and they heard a song or a poem and went, idea. And they actually gave credit to him. If you watch this movie, there's a scene where at the dinner table, Harrison is sitting there with a lawyer named Patterson, and the other guy across the table. And a video I watched explaining it all, they call it the iconic moment when Patterson met Clancy of the Overflow and had dinner with him. And yes, if you haven't figured it out now, goes by the same title. It's called The Man from Snowy River. On a quick side note, when I was real little, I went around one Halloween year and I had a piece of rope that was like a whip, cowboy hat and all. And people go, "Are you John Wayne?" I'd go, "No, I'm Jim Craig from the Snowy River Mountains. Based a whole skit. You know what? Even better. We'll make it go a little longer. Back to the story of the wonderful night of December 7th, 2019, when I met this wonderful, beautiful, sexy, amazing woman named Jules that I love with all my heart, my soul, my mind, and my body. Here's what exactly I said to her that really, this is why it just really made me want to go after her. It's because all she did was compliment me. See, from watching all these different movies, studying cultures, I've always tried to imitate another accent. And I do pretty well at a Scots or an Irish. But the one that stole my heart was years and years ago. And it was from watching The Man from Snowy River. I wanted to talk just like them. I wanted to talk the Australian way. And I've worked on it. And so as I was walking out that night, we were leaving, and something in me came and said, no regrets. I've always heard that people get mad from other countries if you imitate their accent. But here's my one chance to know if I'm any good at it. And so I looked right at her and I said, I like to prank people sometimes with different accents. I do an Australian one. And can I try it? And she said, well, prank away. And I went, see, I'm not actually from Oklahoma. I was actually born in the Snowy River Mountain Ranges, 175 kilometers from Queensland, 150 from Sydney.